Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes. Today's guest is a new member of the Porn family, and I'm really looking forward to sitting down with him and getting to know him better. Fresh on the scene, he's only been around for a few months, but I have a feeling he's going to make it big in this industry. So it's great to have him on here at the beginning of what I suspect is going to be a phenomenal career. So, that being said, please welcome Mr. Tommy Lake to the show. Welcome.
Hey guys, it's Tommy here.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. You're taking the internet by storm. That is a fact. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about you. I know the fans are as well. And your jaunt into the porn industry and where you want to go with that, and pretty much just moving forward from all of those things. You know, what was your motivation? What were your thoughts on doing all of this stuff? So this is going to be great.
Yeah,
but
I'm excited.
We're going to start by going way back because we want to hear about how Tommy grew up. So, first thing I want to ask you is, where did you grow up, and what kind of childhood did you have?
So this is kind of like a little touchy subject for me, but it's really cool to like kind of explain my experience growing up as a kid. My parents were never married, my mom and my dad. Way back when my mom was a big bar hopper, dancer. And so that's how her and my dad met. I didn't know him until I was 25. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
But yeah, so I grew up in between Iowa and Texas. My mom and my brother's dad was married.
Okay.
And they both kind of raised me. And he was my dad. So I grew up, I had 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, and 4 younger brothers, and 1 younger sister.
Okay.
And then there's me.
That's great.
So yeah, growing up, like I said, it was kind of like my parents were divorced. So it was back and forth between Texas and Iowa, which is totally crazy, but
those
hey,
are 2
right?
very different cultures, so I can imagine that was a lot of culture shock going back and forth from 2 different mindsets. Yeah,
totally. Because it was like the whole, like when parents separate, it's like, oh, we're gonna go here for the summer and we're gonna go here for,
right,
this holiday and there for that holiday. So, as a kid growing up, like that's a huge issue. When you're a kid and you're like, oh, I got to go here and go there. So, anyway, that's how I grew up. My childhood really was kind of just like me fending for myself. And so I learned at a very young age, like, you have to do, stuff for yourself. Your parents are not going to always help you, whether they're there or whether they're not there. And so that's how I started like learning how to just be independent and go about things on my own.
Do you find that has made you more resilient?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, I take it as, it was probably tough on occasion, and there was probably a lot that you had to cope with and deal with. But I see sometimes that actually makes people a little bit stronger than they grow up.
For sure.
Than with people who may have had less strife in their childhood. Not that they are that they're any less or more than anyone else. But I find that, the things we might have to tackle as children tend to make us one of 2 things: a better adult, or at least better at handling some of the more bigger issues, I guess is what I'm saying with that.
Yeah, so I moved out when I was 17. That's pretty early. And I told my parents, I will never ask for anything because I want to be independent and do things on my own. And so I moved out when I was 17, and I've never went back home. I've always been on my own since then. And that's just like being raised that way and not having a stable home really just like pushed me into what I wanted to be as an adult earlier on. So yeah, I feel like that's really helped, and I'm a go-getter, I do a lot of things. So it's
obviously you've had to, because nobody's just handed it to you. So
yeah.
I get that.
So yeah.
So growing up with a divided household, you've also had to cope with the fact that you at some point realized you were gay. So how did that? The reason why I bring this up is because there are a lot of people who are watching this or will watch this, and it helps them to know they're not alone. That they
for sure.
And I know, even though we don't talk about it, but there are under 18-year-olds that watch porn. And in some cases, this is their only way of finding out how it all works. So let's, talking from personal experience, how was your transition and coming out? And
well, I was very very feminine when I was a kid, and I think a lot of that came from just mainly being around my mother and just always hanging out with my mom and her girlfriends, and I really wasn't like a social butterfly when I was growing up, so I didn't really. I mean, I had friends, but I didn't like associate all the time with them, essentially. And so when I was 14 years old, I came to my mom and I was like, "Mom, I'm gay. Like, this is it. This is me. This is who I am. Hopefully you accept it." And that comes from like being who I am as well. Like, I'm very open and honest. And she was totally like, she's like, "Oh my God, like I already knew," and she was like, "I was just waiting for you to tell me." And so, but my biggest part of me coming out was explaining to my dad, because growing up, my dad was raised in the South. We were raised halfway in the South, halfway not.
Right.
And so that was probably like, to me, one of my biggest obstacles was like, how am I going to explain to my dad that I'm gay, And I don't know. I woke up one morning and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell him. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. Because when we were kids, he was like, if you guys ever tell me you're gay or you're, marrying the opposite race or, anything like that, he's like, I'm just going to disown you. And that was, like I was probably 10 years old, 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so here I am, 14 years old, and I'm like, Dad, I'm gay. But it just showed that times had really changed, because when I came to him and told him that, he was like, so, I don't know what you want me to do. You're gay. That's just the way it is. So for me, it was like really cool, because it's like I went from like being really scared about it, not with my mom, but with my dad. And actually it was, so my dad that raised me, he passed away 3 years ago.
Sorry.
But I don't regret any of that, because it's like he got to know who I am. He went to his first gay bar with me. I did drag way back in the day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He had his first gay bar experience with me, which, if you would have like met my dad, like this huge, big redneck guy, like you just wouldn't expect him to just be hanging out with a young little twink boy. Because I was 18, real less than 100 pounds, and doing drag.
Did you feel like you brought your own bouncer?
Yeah. But it was really cool. So, coming out was just a really awesome experience, and I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like, oh my gosh, my parents are going to hate me. But they just taught me that, 9 times out of 10, your parents are going to love you regardless. They might not like what you do, but like I said, 9 times out of 10, they're going to still love you. It's going to take time for them to get used to it, maybe not. But it's never going to be like, you're not going to be alone. So regardless of if, you're coming out and your parents don't accept you, somebody's going to accept you, and somebody's going to take that role that's missing from your life, because there are people out there that do care and that do love you regardless, no matter what. So
Exactly.
Don't be afraid.
No, I'm hoping for a day that won't even be a thing anymore. I get the power behind claiming your sexuality. I get the power behind saying, this is who I am. But I want it to get to a day where it's not even about that anymore. It shouldn't be about, hey, I'm gay, or hey, I'm straight. It should just be, I'm me, and that should be all that it is said, and we'll get there.
Yeah, it's gonna come.
It is.
It's gonna come.
May not in my lifetime, but it'll get there. So tell me about post high school. You moved out at 17. Obviously, you graduated and decided to go take on the world. And did you go to college, or did you just break out into work? And what?
No. So here comes the fun part.
Okay.
So I graduated.
Okay.
And I have always been into guys that are older than me. Always. It's just been my thing, because I feel like on a maturity level, when I'm 18 years old, I feel like I was a little bit more mature than average kids my age. But I got married. I got married when I was 18 to my first husband. And he was 33 at the time.
Okay.
And so, we got married and just started a life, just went right into work. And I was with him we were married for 7 years, but we were only together 6. And so, yeah,
Okay.
like I got married when I was 18, got out, did what I wanted to do, moved back to Texas, and we started a life. I started working. We opened up our own business doing foreclosure work on houses
Okay.
for banks and stuff like that. And then I started raising Pomeranians. And I still raise Pomeranians to this day. But yeah, so that's how I got started. That's right after high school. Bam, got married. Started my life with my husband at the time. We're friends now, but things didn't work out. But yeah, he kind of shaped me into my adult life. So.
Okay, so let's take that leap. How did you go from doing what you were doing, being married? I got the married part. That's understandable. To raising Pomeranians, to deciding that I want to do porn. What that's a big leap. That's a huge leap.
So, well, I still raise Pomeranians to this day. I love it.
Okay.
I love animals of all kinds. I only have dogs, but I love animals of all kinds. But I have always been like a go-getter. I love music. I love just going out, just doing stuff, creating new things to do, and whatever. So, I was on Twitter a couple years ago under my old account, and never had thought about really doing porn at that point. And RC and Digger, I followed them on my old Twitter account.
Okay.
And I would post like my music stuff there that I would sing and stuff, and I had some opportunities there. And he followed me back. Ryan followed me back one day, and I was like, oh, cool, he followed me, whatever. And so we just kind of just chit-chatted through DM on Twitter. And it was probably about maybe 8 months or so. And he was like, I really think that you could do porn. And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I'm really open and stuff. And in the back of my mind, it's always been there, like, oh, maybe I could do it. And so finally I hit him up one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Like, this has really always been intriguing to me. I've just never really knew, like, if I should do that or not. And I hit him up, and I was like, hey, I'm ready. So this is kind of actually cool to me, because everybody knows now, it's on Twitter, that I filmed with Digger.
Yes.
So we set that up, but Ryan is the one who created Tommy. And so that was just a cool experience. That's how I got into it. And he kind of gave me the stepping stones to get started, and here I am.
Here you are.
So, and I still sing. I like to still sing.
I want to hear you sing, because I'm a singer myself. So I'm always interested in hearing more about that. So definitely, we'll have to talk about that. So you sing just for fun? So you sing professionally?
I've done like some local stuff. I've never really gotten into it like huge, just because like part of me still like is a little bit self-conscious and stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not good, or maybe I don't look good, or maybe this or maybe that. And I know, like, I feel like everybody has a little bit of that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, but
we'll have to talk about my stage fright one of these days. Yeah.
So it's not that I have like, because I can go out in front of a crowd. I mean, I used to do drag years ago, so it's not like I can't go out in front of a crowd and just be dancing and singing and having a good time, because I can do that. It's just like, what if Sally over there's judging me, or that's what I think about.
What if she is?
And then,
I mean, honestly, it took me a while to understand this. What if she is? Does that take away from your talent at all? No, not at all. Not at all.
And so I had a little opportunity to Silverado Records. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're an independent label. They reached out to me and wanted me to come and record and all this stuff. And I'm like, it scared me because they're independent, and they own you and they own your music, and that just kind of pushed me back. And I really haven't. I jumped right into porn, So after that, so
you could do both.
Yeah, you can, and like I said, I still sing. So
okay, we'll have to chat on that definitely some more. Just you and me, not the whole audience thing. So So, okay, so you got into porn. You just said that Ryan gave you your name. You guys came up together with the name, or did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had talked, and like I said, I was raised in the South, so that's how we, Tommy Lake just kind of seems Southern, and
It does. Because normally you hear Tommy Lee, but Tommy Lake is a nice take on it. I like that. That's good.
So that's how, we came up with that.
So, what's your ultimate goal with it? Are you wanting to break into the studios, or you just wanted to keep it on? Okay.
Yeah, I do. And I used to drink a lot of beer, a lot of soda, eat a lot of fried food, that kind of thing. I've quit doing all that, and I know that I need to do like just a little bit more work to my body and stuff to get where I need to be able to jump into a studio, and that's really what I want to do. Just get like a little more comfortable with myself, do some more just for fan stuff, and then I want to jump in. So
nice.
I think it's pretty cool. The people, when I went to LA, and just the other guys, it's just like a whole new world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a lot of time nobody's judging you.
They're all fabulous. They're all amazing.
It's wonderful. I love it. It's like I said, it's a whole new world.
It's a large fraternity of like-minded people.
Yes. That's
very neat. Very cool. So, do your family know that you're doing? Okay.
So Tommy has Facebook.
Huh?
And so
okay.
And so my mom, she's on there, and there's nothing like X-rated, because Facebook they don't allow that. But I just post stuff of like where I'm going or what I'm doing or whatever. I basically posted most of my LA trip.
Okay.
That I could post on Facebook. And so my mom and my biological father actually follows me. Him and I are like friends. I guess I met him when I was 25, so we're like friends. But they both follow me. They love it. My mom loves it. She's like, oh my god. She tells all of her friends like, oh my god, do you know my son does porn?
That's awesome. That is so great because that's the kind of support you need. I assume not your friends know as well.
Oh yeah.
So do they do the same thing? Hey, this is my friend and he does porn.
Yeah. No. But my mom is so wild. It's so funny.
She sounds like
so we're like two peas in a pod.
That's good. That's great. So, what's your favorite part so far? What have you found that you've just been like, wow, that's cool?
Probably the people. I feel like just because, like I said, it's everybody's super kind so far. And I've met a lot of really awesome people that nobody is the same. Nobody, everybody's. It's like diverse, and I love that. I just love that about it. And like I said, the people are nice, and I'm a huge people person, so that's a big deal to me. Like, I can walk out on the street and make a friend with anybody. So that's probably my biggest thing is the people.
Good.
Going to LA
they're very welcoming too.
Yes. Going to LA was probably the best experience of my life. I had never been. And so it was just really cool to go and meet the guys, and it was just really fun. It was like everybody welcomed me with open arms, and so yeah. So,
Vegas, are you going?
I am. Yeah, I plan on it. I'm probably going to go. I'm going. This is actually, my family doesn't know, but this is the first year that I'm going home for the holidays.
Okay.
So after that, of course, Vegas is in January, so I plan on going. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you there.
Oh, you're gonna go?
Of course I'm going. Of course I'm
right.
going. This will be year 2. I went last year too, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going. So.
Awesome.
I'm pretty excited. It's gonna be a good year.
I've never been to Vegas either, so
no?
That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be fun.
We'll have a great time. We'll talk more about that after the show too.
Okay.
So, what is the one thing that you're looking forward to working with the studios? Which studio? I mean, what caught your eye about working with the studios? What's something that you're looking forward to, finding out, learning, doing once you get?
My biggest thing is like the professionalism of it, because I mean, it's a lot different than just going and making a Just for Fans video with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, another entertainer or somebody that you might meet off of Grindr or something like that. You know,
Right.
it's a whole different aspect, and it's a different professionalism, and I like that. And there's a lot to learn about studios that I feel like you can't really learn unless you're there doing it. So that's.
Have you?
I mean,
have you been on a set yet? Have you been through a set scene?
I had a bad experience. So, with my first one, it was just a bad experience. So no, I have not.
Okay. It's different. So
Yeah.
it is. It's gonna.
It is
It'll be.
different.
It's a whole. It is a whole different situation than just picking up and doing a scene in your room or Just for Fans type situation. Completely
Yeah.
different. You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
what might take an hour and a half to shoot at home will take, you know, most of a day on set, because
Right.
there's angles and cameras and all sorts of stuff that go into it. So be interesting. I can't wait to talk to you about after you do your first scene with one, and we'll have to do a follow-up and go, okay, Tommy, how was your first, you know,
Yeah,
official
I'm
scene?
excited. That's probably like the best thing is like I'm excited like when my first opportunity comes. That's what I'm really looking forward to, because like I said, you don't really know like what goes into all of that unless you're doing it. And so I can't wait. I'm excited. I hope it comes soon, but it comes when it comes, and everything happens for a reason. I truly believe in that.
So, what do you think is your biggest influence in your life? What drives you? What makes you get up every day? What makes you move forward? What motivates you?
I mean, the fact that if I don't, nothing's going to happen in my life, and I'm just going to be like a boring bum. I don't want to do that. You know, I want to get out and go and help myself and help other people, and that's my biggest thing. If I can go out and make somebody's day, that's what I'm going to do, and that gets me up every morning. It's like I get up and I'm like, who can I help today, or what new friend can I make today? That's for me is the biggest thing.
So, I'm going to ask you this because you're just now breaking into the industry, but I've always lived to know what everybody's opinion is on that. But what do you think the biggest misconception is of the porn industry by people outside of it?
I would have to say that, I mean, there's a couple things. People think that porn stars make a crap load of money, and they don't. You know, that's a big thing. And then probably like another thing would be, and I've kind of experienced this a little bit, is, and I mean, and I haven't even done studio work, so it's like, oh my God, what happens when I do studio work? You know, people think that you're just some big whore, that you're just gonna have sex with anybody, and that you don't. They act like you don't care about your body. That's in a sense.
That you're a commodity. That you're a public domain.
Yeah, like you're just like they own you, and you're gonna do what they want you to do, or that's another big thing that. And like I said, I've noticed a lot. It's like, oh, you do porn, and then they're like, oh, well, let's do this or do that, and I'm like, no, like. What that doesn't even make sense,
This is part of the reason why I do this show, is because I want them to see that there's human that is behind this public persona that they've created. It's a creation. It's no different than when you were doing drag. You created a persona for your drag. You did your show, but when you went back behind the screen, you took off that persona and you became you again. Right. So you had two.
And see, that's the thing. Like for me, is the people that I've met can probably attest to this. I'm always me. I'm always me, who I am every day of my life, and I don't like even doing drag and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm like I channeled Taylor Swift. Loved Taylor Swift. We'll get into that later. I'll have to send you pictures and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I was always me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
would meet a new person me, you know. But people don't think that. They think that, you know, you can just be whatever. And you can.
I mean, you can, but you can and you can't. It's a very fine line, because again, you were still like you said, you were channeling Taylor Swift, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yes, there was a lot of you involved in that. You created this illusion, but it was still you. But what I meant by being able to go off and take the makeup off and take off all the others, it doesn't change it. You're still you.
Yeah, of course.
And
of course.
that doesn't give a different allowance for having respect or being respected. Just because you had this persona, or this persona doesn't discount from this person here still being entitled to respect.
Right.
As a human being. And that's the part that I think once you become a public figure, people forget or choose to forget that you are entitled to the respect of being a human being who has choices. Yeah. And that choices mean that just because you do this line of work does not mean, or does not automatically go into an assumption that you are this type of person. Right. You do a job. It is a job. You get paid to do this. That doesn't make you a whore. It doesn't make you a slut. It doesn't make you any of those adjectives. It just means you chose to get paid for doing this. Period. When the cameras turn off, you are still you, and you are still entitled to being respected as a human being.
Yeah. And people don't understand that.
They don't, which is part, like I said, why I wanted to put people in front of and say, look, this is a person who's got feelings, emotions, dreams, hopes. And they have their everyday, just like everybody else. They have up days, down days. You know, they cry, they laugh, just like all the rest of us. You know, and they have hopes and dreams, and that's important for people to understand.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
So what do you do to relax? What's something that you like to do, you know, for fun, relax?
Well, now that I live in Florida, I'd probably go to the beach, but I like to play sports. So, you know, if I can just get out and go with one of my friends and play tennis or baseball or, you know, something like that, that's a big thing for me, as far as going out and getting some relaxation. And music, number one, I don't watch any TV. TV for me is no-go. So music is like a big thing for me to just sit back and relax and think about my day and just move, you know. I'm a huge country music fan, so I
won't hold that against you.
So that's sitting at home. I just turn the music on and just relax, kick back, drink some coffee, and go about my day. And just, you know, reflect on what happened today, and then I wake up in the morning and that's gone. That's history. And then I start over.
Okay. So. Country music, that's hilarious. I should not have been surprised at all. So here's
my favorite.
Here's some fun questions, just because I gotta do some fun ones too. So if you had a superpower, what would it be?
A superpower, what would it be? Probably to be able to heal everybody in this world from any kind of medical crisis that they're going through.
Wow, that
would be my biggest thing. Just because I want everybody to be healthy and not have to pay the government tens and thousands of dollars, you know, because they get sick or something, like. And I feel like everybody should be around forever. I don't know.
Yeah. Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Spider-Man or Iron Man?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
Just because I really don't know much about Iron Man.
Aquaman or Captain America?
Aquaman.
See, let's keep going. Loki or Thor?
Thor.
Okay.
Only because I know who he is.
Loki's his brother. He's the snarky one. So some people like Loki better than they do Thor, but
I don't even know. I've never even heard of him.
Really? You need to catch up on your movies then, apparently. Loki is his brother. He's the snarky brother that is always. He's a semi bad guy, but not fully. I think he was like one of those people that was completely misunderstood. You know the type.
Yeah.
They want to do bad, but they really end up doing good because they just can't be bad as. I mean, not that they don't try to do bad and they do small bad things, but yeah, it's funny. It's funny. So, let's see. What else do I want to ask you? Let's see who else I was thinking. Well, obviously, if I bring up any more, you're not going to know them because you don't watch enough.
Yeah.
It's not TV. You do go to the movies, though. Do you like going to the movies, or?
So, if I go to the movies, like, I tend to just go to sleep. It's so weird. I'm just not. I mean, now that the movie theaters serve alcohol and stuff,
Yeah.
I could get by like maybe like through half of the movie. But no, I'm just not a movie person.
Okay.
I do like Tyler Perry movies, though. I will say that is any Tyler Perry movie I could just sit and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just love his movies, so that would be one that I would like really just enjoy watching. I've watched all the Medea movies. So there's not
like a genre of movies that you're like attracted to, like sci-fi or.
Well, so I brought up Tyler Perry. And in his movies, he does most of them is like some comedy, but there's some drama in there. So that would be my thing. I like comedy, but I also like a dramatic movie. So yeah, and life lessons. I mean, he teaches life lessons in his movies.
Does he?
If you think about the Medea movies, I mean, she's a little wild and crazy, but there's always a message. There's always a message to take away from one of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think which one it was. No, it wasn't. Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That message was for women. You don't have to stay in a relationship where somebody's abusing you, or you can get out. There's things to do to get out. You have power, and that movie like really sends that message. And that's what I like. It's showing, and men too. Women and men all over this nation. It's showing them like if they sit down and they see that movie that there's ways out. There's ways to overpower. And so that's what I like. I like movies with messages like that, That's my thing.
That's good. I like that. So tell me, what is one thing about yourself that you like the most?
One thing about...
Well, not the most, but, what's one thing that you really like about yourself?
Probably that I really don't have a mean bone in my body. I've seen a lot of mean things happen, and a lot of people have been mean to me in my life, and I just never want to be really mean to somebody else. I always want to be kind and treat somebody the way I want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I like the most about me, because not a lot of people can say that. I mean, I don't really even get angry.
Really?
The only time I get angry is when I'm driving. Okay, that's road rage. That's the only time.
Well, I think we all suffer from that because there's a lot of stupid on the road.
Right. I always look at like what can I take away from positivity? Just never be. There's no reason to be negative. One of my favorite artists, and she says, if you're negative, if you think negative, you're going to have a negative life. And I truly feel it, like I believe that. Mm-hmm. And if you think positive, you're most of the time you're going to have a positive life. And if you treat people the way you want to be treated, they're going to treat you the same way most of the time.
Well, we all have bad things that happen and come into our life. But
yeah,
if all we do is react negatively to them, we're just going to keep attracting it. As far as I think,
Yeah.
You put out in the universe. You put out into the universe that which you want brought back.
Right.
It's kind of how I look at that.
So yeah, that's the favorite thing about me. That's what I like the most. Is I can be kind to everybody, and I'm just not mean. I don't know. I don't get angry.
So then, if you could spend the day with anyone, past, present, whatever, who would that be? Who would you want to spend the day with?
Probably my brother. So my brother passed away of a heroin overdose,
Sorry.
And I want to just spend the day with him, and not even a day, just like if I could just like go back in time and just like shelter him, you know, because I really miss him. I miss who he was before he started doing the heroin. I can't say that I just miss him. I just miss him in general. And if I could go back and spend time with somebody, it would be him. And I could say my dad too. My dad raised me, you know, but my brother and I had before he started doing heroin, we had a really good connection, and we were like best buddies. And I really miss that, and I miss him, and it's been probably a really hard thing for me to let go of. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a tough thing to deal with.
he's here though. He's on my arm.
You know, they never leave us. None of them ever leave us. In fact, I think we end up with them more often
Yes.
once they pass,
Yes.
because then when they were around us, when they were alive. Just think he's probably been guarding your hiney for years now. So, I mean,
Yeah.
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 If you could make a rule for a day, what would that be
If I can make a rule for a day,
for the whole world?
probably that we all just need to treat each other with kindness for one day. There's so much hate in this world, it's unreal.
Yeah, there is.
And a lot of that is it's like self-caused. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if we could just all be kind, just think of how great the world would be.
And not
If
just
everybody
to
was just
everybody
nice.
else, but I think to ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a lot of it too, is that
Yeah.
there's not a lot of self-kindness.
Right.
There might be some self-kindness is different than being selfish, in my
Yes,
opinion.
of course.
I think
Of
there's a
course,
big
yeah.
difference between being self-kind, meaning talking to yourself in a positive way, versus being selfish and expecting everything for yourself. Big difference. So yeah, that would be great. If we get past one day, maybe we could turn it into 2 days and then a week.
It could just go on and on and on.
Exactly.
I mean, think of how happy everybody would be.
Well, I think the world's on a shift as it is right now. I think there's a lot more people aware than they were maybe 5 years ago. So
Yeah.
there's hope for that. I think there's,
Yes, there is.
and the more people put out that positive energy, the more hopeful it and more in effect I think it will become. So
Yeah.
So looking back, what was your favorite day? Do you have a favorite day? Something that stands out in your mind that you, if you could go back and relive that whole day again, because it was just so cool.
I don't know.
Not happened yet, huh?
Not like a huge. No, I take that back. When my sister got married, that was my favorite day.
Yeah.
That was like literally my favorite day. So, as far as that goes, for now, I mean, there's going to be something that's.
Oh yeah, this is past.
that,
I'm just
you
talking
know.
past. I know there's more coming for you. There's no.
Yeah. But probably when my sister got married, that was
That was a good
pretty
day,
cool
huh?
day. That was a pretty cool day. Because I never thought my sister was ever going to get married, like ever. She just never. And then all of a sudden, bam, here we are. Oh, we're getting married.
Just waiting for the right one. Just
Yeah.
waiting for the right guy. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So,
So, what is the most unknown skill that you have? Something that not many people would know that you know how to do.
well, I can't really say sing because I do have a couple of videos on Twitter.
Well, that doesn't work then.
Probably. What can I do that people don't know that I can do? People probably don't know that I can train dogs to be show dogs, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they know that I raise Pomeranians, but that takes a lot of work to train a dog to be shown
Yeah.
versus to train your dog not to go to the bathroom in the house.
It's a great
So-
fear to fall back on.
It's, yeah. Oh, it is. It is. Pomeranians, raising them, I love them to pieces. They
Mhm.
shaped my life. They bought my first house, you know. They shaped my life. So
Not only
yeah.
that, but they're great companions.
Oh, I love them. I love them all.
Dogs are amazing. Talk
they are.
about a true form
my
of
kids.
unconditional love is
Yes.
a relationship.
They're
with
my
dog.
children that I'll never have.
Well, I have a cat, and I do love dogs, but I'm a cat person. I lean more towards them because I like they're a little bit more independent.
Yeah.
And I've always
independence is a
had
big thing.
cats, but just same thing. I mean, I know people say cats are like, about people, but not mine. Mine are always. They're actually not that far away. They're probably sitting not too far away from here because Mom's in the room. So.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, I can do some stuff. Like I can do, a lot of stuff. I know how to cook very, very well. People probably don't know that because I never post that, but
You can do what?
I can cook very well, like
Really?
very, very well.
Yeah.
But
Like-
I don't post that because I really don't. I'm not trying to cook like that anymore. Because when you're trying to get your body right, you can't be cooking fried chicken and
Right?
yeah. So I try not to do that no more.
So, if you had the ability to grant 3 wishes, what would they be?
3 wishes.
3 wishes.
Number 1 would be three wishes. Like individual wishes or
Yeah. You can't combine them. I'm being horrible, I know. I'm making you think up 3 separate wishes.
all right.
They don't have to be world level.
My one wish would be to if somebody wanted to bring a loved one back and they just wish that could happen, I would love to make that happen for somebody if I could.
And not a zombie, right? They
not
have
a
to come
zombie.
back as an
Come back
actual.
exactly how they were. Just-
Because sometimes you can't, you don't want to do that because you don't
Yeah.
know whether or not you're going to get all of them back.
Probably another wish. I know a lot of people want to get rid of cancer, and they wish that their family members didn't have it, and that would be number 2 because that's a nightmare.
Yes.
Literally, it's a nightmare to cure that. And the third would be wish. This has got to be a really good one.
Yeah.
Third. I have no idea.
Doesn't have to be a global level. It could be a personal one.
Well, I want to be like super, super successful.
There's
In my
nothing
life.
wrong with that. There you
So
go.
I wish that I could be successful.
There you
like
go.
super successful, and I know that I can. But that's it. That's the third one.
Fine. See,
No matter what I'm doing, I want to be successful, and I want to, never give up, never have the thought of giving up. So if I
Okay.
can grant that to myself,
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
I'm letting you do that. That's a good one. I know, right? So, another fun question. Which of the 7 dwarves are you?
Which of the 7 dwarves?
Do you not?
They are.
You do not know who the 7 dwarves are?
I know Snow White. I
Okay.
know the 7 dwarves.
Sleepy, Dopey. You don't know who any of this. Oh my lord!
I
We're
know.
gonna have to have a Disney day. I
It's
think
funny because I live 40 minutes from Disney.
you have no excuse. So we'll have to come back to that question on your next interview after you have your first scene with the studio. And you have homework. You need to figure out who the 7 dwarves are. You crack me up. You're either cracking me up or you're making me feel old. One of the two. And I have decided the cracking up sounds better.
Well, I mean, most people probably know like stuff like that because of it. Like
Yeah.
even kids, like adults my age or kids, young adults, whatever.
Go to Disney
You've
without
You've
kids?
never heard, yeah. And my friend says, "Oh, let's go to Disney." Disney? Why would we go to Disney? What, And my friend's like, "Oh, but we love Disney." I'm like, okay, maybe someday.
You have homework.
I'm I'm really an old soul.
Well, so am I, but I still love Disney. So, I mean, and most people have at least heard of the seven. Well, I know you've heard of the Seven Dwarfs. You just don't know who they are.
Yeah, I just don't know who they are.
So,
I mean, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Heard of them.
right. So,
Never really studied up on them, I guess.
we're gonna have to work on that one. Oh, okay. Of the 4 seasons of the year, you know those, so we're gonna go on that one. Which
Yeah.
one's your favorite?
Well, fall, probably.
Okay.
Because, number one, I was born in October, so I don't know, fall. I'm just going to go with fall because I love autumn.
Okay.
The leaves are all pretty. It's just like, it's crisp weather, not too cold, not too hot. I love it. I know, and I live in Florida, so we don't get fall. It's kind of a bummer, but that's my favorite season. Fall is my favorite.
So you moved to a state where you don't get to see it at all.
I know. But I like warm. I don't like being cold. So like I said, I like fall because it's crisp. It's not, too hot, not too cold. It's pretty outside. But I moved to Florida.
Where wind moves buildings. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you consider your spirit animal?
My spirit animal?
Yeah.
Isn't that like where like spirit animal? Let's go further into that. So isn't that like where if you could be this animal, that's what you would be?
It's like your driving force. It's the behind your energy. So spirit animal basically means that you take on the characteristics of your favorite animal. So some people have lions, tigers.
Yeah, I would probably say, I don't even know, probably like a lion because I'm like really bold, like in what I do. I'm really very, very passionate and it's like roar, like I'm just like, I'm ready to get out in the morning and just do what, I want to do and I'm going to do it. So I think that would probably be it.
Okay. That's a good answer. I like that one. So, let's go back to your online stuff. What is the one thing that you were most surprised about with your building your fan base?
Well, number one, I started Twitter May 31st.
Okay.
So to be at over 5,500 followers in 3 months, to me, that's just like, it's like very positive, overwhelming. And I try to get to everybody, that follows me. I mean, there's people that I miss. But that's been like the biggest thing. And then just like the support of other guys and gals in the industry. That's been like a big thing for me too. I just can't believe how much I've grown, just by, doing some Just for Fan stuff and posting on Twitter. But, yeah, that's been a huge thing. Like I'm like, wow, really? Like I've actually grown this much in 3 months, but I connect with everybody. Like I try to, if somebody says something, whether it's a compliment or anything like that, like I try to say, hey, thanks, or, whatever, regardless of who it is, because I want everybody to feel like I think of everybody the same. So nobody is better than anybody else regardless. So on Twitter and even Facebook, like I said, Tommy has a Facebook. So I try to just engage with everybody. So
That's good. So what advice would you give to somebody who may be thinking about joining the business?
Well, number one, they should probably think about it.
Yes.
A little bit. And I've had people ask me, and I haven't I really haven't been able to give like a super amazing answer because I haven't done studio work. And studio work, obviously is harder. But I've had a couple people ask me and I'm like, you know what? It's not for everybody. So, and you don't think that you're going to be like making like $300,000, $400,000 a year because let's just face it, that's not going to happen, and that's how I tell them, like, you're not going to, if you're in it to make money, you probably shouldn't do it because of course you're going to make money. It's a job. You know,
You have
go
to
to
treat
Walmart,
it
you make
like a
money.
business. You do have to
You
treat
know.
it like a business.
Yeah, and it's not going to be like you're building some huge billionaire empire, and that's what because a lot of people say, oh my god, I want to do porn because I want to make money. Well, you can make money at Walmart, you know. They just think they're going to make all this money. So I
With
just
more
like,
clothes.
if somebody asks me, yeah, I'm like, you know, you're not going to make a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing it for that, you probably shouldn't do it. But yeah, just think about it, you know.
So what advice was given to you? What advice did you find the most helpful?
So for me, it was, like I said, I had the honor of, I don't know if you've ever met RC and Zigger.
Not yet.
You've ever met them?
Not
Okay,
not in
so-
person. Not yet.
Okay. So, like I said before, I had the honor of basically kind of been shown the ropes by Ryan. And him and Zigger are both just literally the most down-to-earth people ever, like I've ever met. Probably, I can probably say that they're the most down-to-earth people that I've ever met in my whole entire life. As far as anything goes.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ryan shared with me, you know, basically, number one, you're not going to make a lot of money, of course. You know, you're going to make money, of course. It's like any job, but you're not going to make a crap load of money. And be kind to everybody, you know, which I already do. So it's like, be kind to everybody, and it's a whole new world. It's like like you said, a big fraternity, or like an overcrowded fraternity. You know, just respect people and don't be afraid to reach out. You know, if you want something, reach for it. So that was probably the biggest thing. But I think what stuck with me the most about when him and I were talking about it is there's just like with anything, there's going to be people that you might not, you know, vibe with or whatever, but still be kind to them, because you want people to look at you as like, oh wow, you know, he's really kind and he's really a sweetheart, you know,
And a professional.
and very professional. So yeah, I mean, keep your professionalism, be kind, and just, you know, build yourself up. And you have to know, like, you can't just jump on Twitter and post a picture and think that 700 people are going to comment on your picture if you don't socialize with them and interact with them. And, you know, so interact with your fans. That's how you keep them. So
So what makes you smile?
what makes me smile? Probably waking up every day. I love to, I don't know, wake up but as far as family really makes me smile. It's a big thing for me. I live here. None of my family lives here, so that's kind of hard for me. But yeah, just knowing that I have people to look up to in my life, that makes me smile. So
What makes you sad?
what makes me sad? Probably when fighting probably makes me sad. Like when people don't get along, just because I don't like to fight with anybody, and I feel like everybody should be nice to everybody regardless of who they are or what they do. But what makes me sad is when people fight physically or put somebody down because of, you know, they might be different than you. That really makes me sad. Like, in school and stuff, like I said, I had a lot of friends, but I really wasn't like a social butterfly. But if somebody put somebody down in front of me, like because of, you know, their race or, you know, whatever, anything, their orientation, their race, their gender, whatever, that like really pissed me off, because I'm like, you and I, we bleed the same, you know? So if you're different than me, who cares? Let's just love each other the same. So when people get put down and made fun of, that makes me sad.
Understood. So, at the end of your life, you sit down and you decide you want to write an autobiography. What would be the name on the autobiography? What would you call it? What'd you title your book?
What would I call it? A Million Ways to Live Your Life.
Okay.
That's what I would call it. A Million Ways to Live Your Life.
What would you like people to remember about you?
Just I'm a kind person, and that you don't have to be. You don't have to. You don't have to treat people differently. You treat everybody the same. I treat everybody equally. I love everybody equally. I don't care who they are, and I just want people to know that and know that they can be that way too, because that's going to make the world a better place.
So, what would you like to tell your fans?
Well, number one, I love all of your guys' support. It's been like a huge thing for me just to see like all of your interactions with me on Twitter, and I try to get back to everybody. And I really appreciate you guys, and I can't wait for you guys to see what happens in the future.
This is going to be awesome. You're going to
I'm excited.
Take it by storm, and we're all going to say, we were following him back when we were there at the start. We were there at the very beginning. So that's going to be awesome. I wish you so much success. I really wish you so much success. You're going to be amazing. And they're going to love you.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
They're going to love you. So. You do good. I mean, your personality is great. You're going to do awesome. You're going to do awesome stuff.
I love people, so that's my thing. Like, I love people. I don't care who you are, what you are. I love you anyway. So it's like I said, anybody, I can be a friend with anybody. So. Well,
that's the personality you need for this. You need to be open-minded and broad thinking, and just that kind of personality is going to do you well in this business, truthfully. So I'm excited.
It's kind of to explain a little bit like what I mean by being kind to everybody. Mm-hmm. There's a fan that I have that's really kind of became a friend. He started out as he's like, oh, you're really hot, blah blah blah, like whatever fan. Okay, and
I'm sure I know who you're talking about.
We chatted a little bit.
Yes.
And he said to me one day, he goes, I don't really have a lot of friends. And I said, well, why? And he goes, I think I kind of feel comfortable with you, and I can tell you this, but I have a problem. And he was like, and people they just make fun of me for that. And I'm not obviously going to put out their name or whatever, and they'll probably never see this, but it's just a simple little issue. They have a stuttering problem. Lots of people in this world have a stuttering problem.
Of course.
But that's where I'm getting off saying people aren't always kind. They just, that's a silly thing to not be somebody's friend over or make fun of somebody over. But people do that.
Yes.
And I said to him, and he's like, I'm worried that if I tell you what's wrong with me, you're not going to want to be my friend anymore. And I said, stop right there. I don't care what's wrong with you. I don't care if you have no arms, no legs, you're not even half of a person. I don't care. You're my friend, and I'm not going to treat you any differently. And so, like I said, that was a fan, and now I've turned into one of his best friends because I love him and I accept him for who he is. So that's I'm kind of what I want to take away and just let everybody know is that regardless of anybody, what they do or who they like or what's wrong with them, in their life, let's love everybody the same and just treat everybody with kindness. I'm going to do that to all my fans, all my friends, everybody. I love everybody the same. So
we're all going through our own trials, tribulations,
of course.
life things.
Of course.
And the last thing anybody needs is someone else adding to that because they can't accept them for just who they are.
Yep.
Makes no
and I
sense.
accept everybody. Like I said, I love everybody. I accept everybody for who they are. So.
I applaud that. That's awesome. That's totally awesome. So, Tommy, thank you very much for sitting down with me. And
sure. Thanks for having me.
A little bit about you. Oh, this was in the making for a little while. I'm glad we finally got a chance to do it. The summer kind of got away from me and updating all the studio stuff. So,
well, and I'm a go person. So I'm always on the go. You'll see that. It's when you see me more on Twitter. I'm go 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 all the time, and I'm not just filming with other guys and stuff. It's like I'm doing 90,000 things in life, So
Well, I decided to take it a little mini unplug last month too, so that was part of it. Was I needed to take some downtime off of social media and stuff.
We all need it.
We all need it. We all need it. So
yes.
So this is great to come back and have a chance to sit down and have this chat with you. So I've been super excited.
I'm excited to see where things go.
Yes, definitely.
And you're going to be a part of the ride. How exciting!
I know. I just love being part of the ride. Thank God it's not a roller coaster, because then we might have a problem. But I'm okay with the whole driving there. As long as we're on level ground, we're good. We're good.
Yes.
You can roller coaster, and I'll wave from down below. That'll work.
I don't like roller coasters, so
I can't stand them. I love Ferris wheels, but I don't like roller coasters.
Oh, the Ferris wheel's the worst. I'd rather get on a roller coaster.
I don't understand that, because
the roller coaster, you're not going to just sit in the air oh my gosh, let's
but when you're up there, you can see so much. When you're in one of those stupid death traps, but you're going by so fast.
I can get in a plane and see so much.
Not the same thing. Not even close. It's like being on a train. I mean, train rides are great, but you're going so fast you can't always see everything that you go by because it's too fast to go.
That's true. That's true.
But in the Ferris wheel, you stop at the top and you get to look around and you get to see out, Oh
my gosh, what if the cable came undone?
Now, why would you... Are you not going to die any less dropping or slamming into or having a car leave the track? I mean, what's the difference?
I suppose, yeah.
I should be able to say the same thing because I can't stand getting on those speedy nightmare traps. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'd reference to the Dumbo ride, but you haven't been to Disneyland, so we can't even discuss that one either.
I've lived in Florida for 2 years and never been to Disney.
Maybe you should make a day trip just so you know what all the hubbub's about.
Yeah, I should, actually.
Or next time you're in LA, go to Disneyland. It's smaller, so it's not quite as overwhelming.
Gonna be in LA next month.
There you go. You could make a day trip. There's plenty of people I know that would go with you.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. I'll do that. I'll schedule time to go to Disney.
I think you should. At least make Disneyland. You don't necessarily have to do California Adventure, but if you're going to do the park...
I think it would be more fun in California, too, because it's not 187 degrees here like it is in Florida. So
that, and it's a smaller park. It's a much smaller park.
Fry an egg on the sidewalk outside.
All right, so we're wrapping this up. Thank you again. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for joining another episode of Behind the Scenes. Remember, smile and laugh every day. Hug someone that you love, be it 2 or 4 legged. And remember, you are special. Thanks again for joining the show. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.